Welcome to Mind Capture with Mars, the podcast where we dive into the intricate realm of mental health within the prison system. We're your hosts,
Melissa,
Adrian,
Ruby,
Selena.
And in today's episodes, we embark on a journey to understand the challenges, triumphs, and complexities surrounding the mental well-being of incarcerated individuals. The book Just Mercy is our guiding beacon as we explore the multifaceted aspects of mental health, seeking to shed light on the often overlooked narratives within the prison walls. Join us as we engage in conversations with experts, share personal stories, and challenge the stigmas that surround mental health in correctional facilities. Let's break down the barriers and build bridges of understanding on this crucial issue. Mental health refers to a person's emotional, psychological, and social well-being, encompassing their ability to manage stress, relate to others, and make decisions. It is an integral aspect of overall health and involves the balance of emotions, thoughts, and behaviors. Good mental health contributes to a person's resilience, enabling them to cope with life's challenges, build meaningful relationships, and work productively. Mental health is not merely the absence of mental disorders, but represents a state of positive mental function. It involves self-awareness, emotional regulation, and the ability to adapt to change. Just as physical health is crucial for overall well-being, mental health plays a fundamental role in shaping one's quality of life. Recognizing the importance of mental health promotes a proper approach to healthcare that considers both the mind and body.
Mental health is already an important topic as we have discussed before. The state of mental health and mental health disorders are an even more important topic in prisons that often gets overlooked. The state of someone's mental health can decline after being in the prison system or during. As Amanda Morin states in the article, The Mental Health Effects of Being in Prison, quite often mental health issues and substance abuse issues occur alongside one another. Many other incarcerated individuals may experience depressive disorders, anxiety disorders, or PTSD.
This topic is important based on the fact that we get to understand a little bit more of how these prisoners are affected by these issues and what issues they end up getting after being in prison and not being able to fix their mental health.
The book Just Mercy states that most overcrowded prisons do not have the capacity to provide care and treatment to the mentally ill. The lack of treatment makes compliance with the myriad rules that define prison life impossible for many disabled people. Other prisoners exploit or react violently to the behavioral symptoms of the mentally ill. Frustrated prison staff frequently subject them to abusive punishment, solitary confinement, or the most extreme forms of available detention. In the book, we see examples of mental illness in prison and failure to get help. It is important that the book gave examples like this because it shows a form of social injustice to the people who need and deserve help with their mental illness, no matter their prison situation.
Alright. Now, in the book Just Mercy, which is a great resource for the violent acts and just in criminal behavior from the staff, the prisoner staffs that are having to not really deal with the prisoners, but have to be there with them every day, which isn't fair for these prisoners that are dealing with these mental health issues and not having the care to provide for them. Now I don't fully agree with how they are presenting themselves with these prisoners and how they are being treated. I do believe that the act of some type of help, some type of therapy, something to help these prisoners on a day-to-day would be very useful for them and would help them. But the acts of the staff would not do any justice for these prisoners and should not be holding these prisoners in some type of hostage ability, because it's not helping their growth, it's not helping with their mental health, with their minds, and helping them grow throughout the process of being in prison and doing better for themselves. Okay, we'll go from there because I didn't.
And you heard the way I was talking, I was like, wait.
Okay. So in the book Just Mercy, there was a character named George Daniel who experienced mental health issues like hallucinations and nonsensical speech after being in a car accident. And then his family tried to get him help, but he just left the town in a bus. And then he went into the stranger's home, and I forgot what he was doing in there, but he just was in his home, I guess, talking to the people that lived there. And then the cops were called, and one officer pulled out his gun, and then somehow Daniel took the gun from him and shot the officer. So then George Daniel went to prison, but then he went to a psychiatrist to get like an evaluation, but the doctor turned out to be a fake, and he faked the psychosis. So
Daniel was a victim of social injustice, with the idea that he wasn't able to get a psychiatrist to really help him or give him the
proper
correct psychosis. Instead just allowed it to be false, and then ended up with him getting a sentence to death. And with his sentence, he was suffering from abuse in the prison and was not helped during this sentence at all. I think this is very unfair with prisoners who aren't given the right help or not given the right resources, or are just put in the sentence and not helped with, especially when they're abused and they're not giving any resources to help
And
them.
now, a quick word from our sponsors. There are tasks to tackle with the procrastinator's touch, addressing healthier habits and tackling the looming amount of tasks that are on the list. However, when it comes to meeting people's expectations, it's wiser to be deliberate rather than diving in head first. It's all too easy to become entangled in others' needs, forgetting about your own. So, how do you strike a balance? It's a skill that requires practice. Seeking professional help is an excellent avenue for acquiring new tools, such as mastering time management and establishing goals, ensuring you have ample time to complete something that's due in 2 hours. If the idea of getting professional help doesn't appeal to your procrastinator spirit, then that's good. Consider giving Beyond Time a shot. It's a hassle-free, entirely online option tailored to your eventual timetable. Simply complete a quick questionnaire to be paired with a licensed procrastinator fixer, and you can switch fixers at any time at no additional cost. Visit beyondtime.com/MARS today to get 420% off your first week. That's beyondtime.com/Mars.
Go ahead.
Okay, thanks Adrian for the advertisement. Now we're going to be doing a segment called Trivia with Melissa, where I'll be asking you guys trivia questions and we'll see who does the best. Okay, so for the first question, it says, what % of prison and jail inmates in the United States have a diagnosed mental illness? So what % do you guys think?
7.
I feel like it's a big percentage, so I want to go with maybe 17 or 20%.
Okay. Ruby?
Okay, well now I don't know when it's good.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say 80.
Okay,
Wow.
Sue?
Ruby was actually the closest.
I fucking knew it.
The answer was 50% of prison and jail inmates in the United States have diagnosed mental illness. And that came from Just Mercy on page 188. And then the next question is, what % of women and males have a mental health problem in state prisons?
50.
So you have to say the percent for males and then males and then females.
The percentage I would say is like 78
For who?
for males, and then probably like 70 for females.
Okay. Ruby?
I'm gonna say 40% female, 60% male.
Okay, I think Selena was closest. It was 73% women and 55% males.
Let's go, gay guys.
Hey.
And that came from mental health problems of prisons and jail inmates from the Bureau of Justice Statistics.
We could take this out, I don't care.
And this is a true or false question. So it says, frustrated prison staff often violently react to the mentally ill by giving them abusive punishments, putting them in solitary confinement, and putting them through the most extreme forms of available detention. True or false?
True.
Adrian?
Abstain.
What?
I abstain.
We are not in court.
What does that mean?
True, it's
I don't care.
Well, the answer was true, and that came from the book Just Mercy, page 188 to 189. Okay. Question 4. How many adults experience a mental illness in 2020?
80.
Gonna say 49 million.
Wait, we do a number?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I did 80%.
Oh.
Adrian, go ahead, because I don't know. Go ahead.
Yeah, 80%.
Oh, 80? That's not a number.
What number?
I'm gonna say like 7 million.
Okay. Ruby was the closest again. It was 52.9 million.
This is trippy.
And that came from mental health and reentry, how court services offender agency meets the challenge of mental health community supervision and dispatch. Okay. The last question is another true or false, and it says 10% of all fatal police shootings from 2015 to 2020 involved a person with mental illness.
True.
Did you guys all answer?
No.
Melina?
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah. 10% of all fatal police shootings from 2015 to 2020 involves a person with mental illnesses.
I'm gonna say true.
Wrong. It was false.
Oh, really?
It was actually 25%.
Oh, wow.
And that came from criminal justice reform efforts and rising crime. Conclusion from R Street. And that's the end of Trivia with Melissa.
As we draw the curtains on this episode of Mind Capture with Mars, we leave you with a deeper appreciation for the intricate interplay between mental health and the prison environment. The stories shared, the insights gained, and the conversations ignited underscore the urgency of addressing mental health within the confines of our correctional facilities. It is our hope that this podcast serves as a catalyst for change, fostering empathy, awareness, and actionable solutions. Remember, the pursuit of a just and humane society extends to every individual, including those behind bars. Thank you for joining us on Mind Capture with Mars, where every voice matters and every story deserves to be heard. Until next time, let's continue the dialogue, break the chains of silence, and work towards a future where mental health in prisons is not just a topic of conversation, but a priority for all.